Maniniwala ka ba na meron ng 5G smartphone na merong matinong performance under 5,000 pesos? Yes, that's now possible in 2024. This is the ZTE Blade A75 5G in partnership with local mobile telco giant Smart. For a 5G ready smartphone, sobrang mura nun. Anyway, hi, this is Peter of GizGuide.com and let's check out why this might be the one for you. First things first, look at that design. Very minimalist siya. I like na meron siyang circular camera hump and meron pa siyang pulang accent here na mas nagha-highlight na medyo kakaiba yung design nito, especially at this price point. Also, ayan, as I mentioned earlier, medyo boxy talaga siya. So it reminds you of higher-end smartphones. Not bad yung ginawa ni ZTE here. Meron pa siyang 3.5mm headphone jack. And of course, Type-C connectivity na rin siya. And yan, easy to reach yung kanyang mga ports and yung kanyang mga buttons. And here, this doubles as a fingerprint scanner din. As you can see here, manipis talaga siya. 8.3mm lang to. Merong konting camera hump, pero that's normal naman on most modern smartphones today. This is not bad for me, especially at this price point. Sa harapan, ganito siya tingnan. I like na meron siyang top center punch hole para mas malaki yung screen real estate mo. And nasa gitna siya, unlike yung iba. So, pa magsi-selfie ka, mas madali mo masacenter yung sarili mo. And here, yung bezel sa side and sa top, manipis naman. Yung shin bezel is a little thicker than what I wanted. Pero common to sa price point na to. Ang hirap magreklamo kasi sobrang mura ng phone, 5,000 pesos lang. The materials that ZTE used here is generally plastic. That's understandable kasi nga, this is a budget phone. Pero it is not a bad type of material naman. Ito, glossy to pero plastic din to, hindi yan glass. And I think this will be matibay enough for most casual users. If you can, put a case, di ba? To ensure that it will last for a long while. Ang hindi ko lang gusto here is wala siyang kasamang screen protector. So if ayaw mo magasgasan yung display nito kasi wala rin siyang mention ng glass protection like Gorilla Glass, bumili ka ng screen protector. Kahit yung mga plastic film lang. There is no mention of water resistance pero sa kanyang SIM tray slot na dual SIM na nano, meron siyang red rubber ring na makikita here. It is suggesting na meron to kahit papanong protection against water splashes and dust ingress. Pero to be sure, ingatan mo na lang. Huwag mo nang i-risk. And here, ito yung kasama niyang case. It is good enough to protect yung camera bump niya and yung smartphone in general against accidental drops and bumps. My bad, meron pala siyang kasamang screen protector sa kanyang box. Na-miss ko lang. So ayun, ipakabit mo na lang sa pinakamalapit na kabitan ng mga screen protector in your area, or if marunong ka, do it yourself. Overall, happy ako sa kanyang design. It is unique. Hindi siya kagaya ng mga designs ng most sub 5K phones. I also like na boxy siya and it feels premium. It looks premium, especially at this price point. But of course, only time will tell if tatagal ba talaga to. Ingatan na lang natin kasi wala to masyadong certifications assuring its durability. Huwag mo rin itong bagsak-bagsak and huwag mo itulublob sa tubig to be sure. Diba? Sayang kasi pag nasira. For a 5,000 pesos smartphone, ang laki ng display nito 6.6 inch. Tapos, 120Hz refresh rate pa. So, ayun, okay yung animations niya. Diba? But yung caveat is HD plus lang yung resolution niya. So, if ilalapit mo yung camera, ayan, medyo kita yung pixels. Pero if sa malayo mo titingnan, hindi na mapapansin yun. For most casual users, I don't think that they will mind it at all. Yung medyo nanghihinayang lang ako is yung Smart ngayon, yung network nila, pag naka 5G ka and merong matinong 5G sa area mo, kayang-kaya na mag-stream ng full HD or even 4K pa nga at times. But here, since yung kaya lang ng display niya is hanggang 720p lang or HD+, hindi ganun ka-high quality yung picture. Pero this is still decent This is still usable and I think sa mga ordinary users, okay na sa kanila to. At for this price point, ang hirap magreklamo talaga Mura kasi talaga Ayan, binasa ako yung panel to see if okay pa rin ba yung kanyang touch. And I think it passed naman. It is usable, nakakapag-scroll ka even if medyo basa yung panel niya. And medyo nakakakuha siya ng fingerprint smudges but madali naman matanggal. Hindi kagaya ng ibang budget phones na kumakapit yung oil. But here, I think okay naman siya in general. Gusto ko lang ding i-note na meron siyang auto screen refresh rate selection or detection para makatipid sa battery life. So basically, ang gagawin niyan is it will only use yung 120Hz refresh rate when needed kasi mas malakas sa battery yun. Pero pag hindi mo naman kailangan nun, ibababa niya all the way down to 60Hz. For example, nagbabrowse ka lang ng internet or tumitingin ka lang ng pictures, hindi mo kailangan ng sobrang taas na refresh rate. So it helps para makatipid to sa battery. Sa overall picture quality, okay naman yung display nito. LCD siya, so okay naman yung colors, hindi siya masyadong saturated, but medyo kulang sa blacks. But understandable naman yun talaga in general. Kasi nga, again, mura to. Sa speakers, single speaker lang siya. And wala siya dito sa ilalim. It is not a bottom firing speaker. Andito siya sa earpiece. So, isa to sa mga ginawang way ni ZTE para magmura tong teleponong to. Pinagsama na nila yung earpiece at saka yung loudspeaker. It's not the loudest around, but it is usable naman. But don't expect it na mas malakas or mas maganda compared to other speakers. Kung kahit yung mga single speakers lang ng ibang phones. Lalo na pag kinumpare mo pa to sa stereo speakers ng iba. So, para maka-enjoy ka ng higher quality music, meron naman siyang 3.5mm headphone jack for your favorite high-resolution headphones. And of course, pwede kang gumamit ng Bluetooth naman always para i-connect yung favorite mong TWS buds or headphones, di ba? Without a case pala, medyo prone siya sa fingerprint smudges. So kung ayaw mong makakita niyan parate, put the case. Diba? Yung next highlight ng teleponong to, despite its 4,990 pesos price tag, is nakapaglagay pa sila ng decenteng main camera. Yung malaking sensor na yan, 50 megapixels yan. And before, hindi yan common, especially sa mga sub-5K phones. Meron pa siyang assistant here na for depth sensing or pang bokeh. And ito, LED flash para sa mga low light snaps or pag wala talagang ilaw, di ba? To be fair, ang daming features for a budget phone. And hindi lagi yung camera interface niya despite the 4,990 pesos price tag. Ito, may Pro mode pa, oh. And look, may shutter speed adjustment. Although, hanggang 1/8 of a second lang. Pero, pwede na yon. Hindi ako nagre-reklamo. May night mode pa. And, of course, portrait mode. And here, tingnan natin. Ito, ano to? Siguro mga filters. Ayan, may mga filters nga siya. So, pili ka na lang kung anong gusto mong kulay. Diba? Pwede ka mag-black and white dyan. HDR din siya, and ito yung flash. Sa quality ng pictures, I'm surprised. This is not bad, especially sa daylight and mga well-lit condition. More than acceptable to, especially at this price point. May zoom pa siya. Pag nag-zoom ka using its main 50 megapixel camera, digital na yun, pero medyo close to lossless pa rin siya. And in fairness, yung kulay ng sky medyo similar pa rin to what I really saw in person. Medyo nagsastruggle siya ng konti indoor, especially if artificial lighting, nababawasan ng konti yung picture quality, nagkakaroon ng konting grain, and medyo nagiging soft, pero hindi pa rin ito masama overall. Ayun, no? Pwede pa rin siyang ipang social media. Also, pag low light, dito ako na-surprise talaga. Syempre, pag hindi ka nag-night mode, grainy and soft. But if ginamit mo yung night mode, you can get a social media ready shot. Of course, meron pa rin yung konting mga artifacts and minsan baka masobrahan ng HDR and colors. And of course, medyo kita pa rin ng konti yung grain. Pero for 5,000 pesos, dati hindi ka makakakuha ng ganitong picture quality in the dark eh. Kahit yung pag-handle niya ng lights, pwede na itong tumapat sa ibang mid-range phones 2 or 3 years ago. So this is not bad. Sa selfie, hindi na rin siya masama. Actually, medyo maganda pa nga ito. Just make sure lang na sa well-lit condition ka if magte-take ka ng images. Sa video, I think this is also the most affordable that can record up to 4K, di ba? Hindi masyadong maganda yung quality niya. So, kahit 4K resolution pa siya. Ito, partida. Naka-studio lights pa tayo sa bahay. Ay, may ilaw. Pero hindi pa rin siya super sharp. And medyo grainy pa rin siya. And very shaky siya kasi wala siyang OIS as expected. And yung microphone ng teleponong to, don't expect too much from it then. So, I wouldn't really recommend this for taking videos. Siguro pag talagang wala ka lang ibang magamit, tsaka mo lang gamitin to for taking videos. And that's understandable. Again, understandable kasi budget phone to eh. Sa performance, first try ko sa teleponong to, the experience is not really that good. Lagi siya. It is in super laggy. But after restarting it, after updating it to the latest software, after ka mag-connect sa internet, bumili siya. And this is now one of the faster, if not the fastest, budget phones under 5,000 pesos today. So happy ako sa overall smoothness niya. For the price, happy ako sa performance nung Unisoc T760. 6nm chip yon na merong up to 2.2 GHz clock speed. Tapos yung GPU niya is the Mali G57 GPU. 4 GB of RAM lang to, so i-manage mo na lang yung kanya mga background apps kasi it might experience some lag pag sobrang dami na talaga na nakabukas in the background or if sobrang heavy nung task that you need to do. Pero again, this is a budget phone, so understandable yon. Supposedly, mas mataas na chipset like the Helio G100 or Snapdragon 680. So, 5,000 pesos, not bad talaga. Kung casual user ka na, for example, mahilig ka lang mag-browse ng internet for research or maybe your work, hindi ka magkakaroon ng problema dito kasi hindi siya maglalag at all. And if, like for example, mag-TikTok ka lang or other social media apps, kayang-kaya niya, walang problema. And actually ito, tinan mo, kahit medyo maraming background apps na naka-open, even if 4 GB RAM lang siya, medyo kaya naman niya. But yun lang, wag lang sobra-sobra, di ba? Yan, for YouTube, happy rin ako eh. Okay din siya for YouTube eh. Nakakapag-watch naman ako ng mga gusto kong palabas here and hindi ako nagkakaproblema at all. Sa Netflix pala, hanggang Widevine L3 lang siya. So, hindi ka makakapag-play ng HD Netflix dito kahit hanggang 720p yung resolution ng kanyang display. If you are wondering, ganito yung itsura pag hindi HD Netflix, hindi 720p Netflix. I think 480p lang to. It is viewable pa rin naman. Hindi lang talaga siya super sharp, hindi lang siya super crisp, hindi lang siya super HD, pero pwede na. Sa mga sobrang daming pinipindot sa display and sa mga gamers, this might be very important. It has up to 5-point multi-touch. Okay na yan, decent na yan, pero of course, don't expect it to be as responsive and as fluid as other displays na merong 10 points of touch. For most Filipino mobile gamers, happy na sila basta kaya mag-Mobile Legends nung telepono nila. And yes, this can play that game. So, nung tinesting ko siya, ito yung settings natin. Now, let's see yung gameplay itself. Sa mga more demanding games like this one, Genshin Impact, obviously, low settings para playable. And in fairness, sa 30 minutes na paglalaro ko, hindi siya uminit and ang nabawas lang sa battery ko is around 5%. Hindi na masama yun. Yung side-mounted fingerprint reader niya is fairly responsive naman. It works maybe 9 out of 10 times based on my experience and that is not bad for a budget phone. Yung pinaka-main highlight ng teleponong to is meron siyang 5G connectivity. Yung results I got is faster than most 4G networks, especially on budget devices under 10,000 pesos. Sa ibang 10,000 pesos phones nga, 4G pa lang yung gamit eh. But with ZTE and Smart, nagawa nilang maglagay ng 5G connectivity on a 4,990 pesos smartphone. I have to commend them with that kasi they're making 5G more available sa masa. Dati, pag sinabi mong naka 5G phone ka, be ready to spend a lot, di ba? And ngayon, gumaganda pa yung mga promos, may mga unlimited offers, and mas nagmumura na talaga yung network natin, yung data connection, especially for prepaid users. So ngayon, even if tagtipid ka, pwede ka pa rin maka-experience ng mas mabilis na network, especially if you will be using this smartphone. Kasi 5G network na siya eh. And in fairness, matino rin yung kanyang Wi-Fi. Almost anywhere dito sa bahay, malakas naman yung signal ko. Maybe factor din na naka-mesh system ako, pero sa ibang budget phones kasi, minsan nagda-drop to 3 bars or 2 bars pag pumasok ako, for example, sa banyo or pumasok ako sa isang room na medyo malayo-layo ng konti dun sa mesh system namin. But generally, this one, okay naman yung connection niya. Okay ako sa browsing, okay ako sa streaming, and ayun, even for video callings, decente na tong teleponong to. Yung comment ko lang is like what I mentioned earlier, yung microphone niya, sana mas maganda yung ginamit ni ZTE and Smart here. But again, mura eh. Mura yung telepono eh. Meron talaga mga compromises yan. Pero mas marami namang mga positives so far compared sa mga minor hiccups na na-experience natin. So, eto yung about phone ng telepono. It runs with Android 13. Hindi pa siya Android 14. Hindi pa siya Android 15. 2 generations delayed na siya. Sana magkaroon ng update. Pero so far, okay naman yung kanyang Android skin. Hindi siya ganun ka-heavy and hindi rin siya ganun ka-bloated. Yung comment ko lang is this. Yan, hindi ko masyadong gusto yung mga recommended apps and games niya. Pati yung news na pinapakita niya, parang hindi ganun ka-reputable. Otherwise, malinis naman siya tingnan. Madaming shortcuts here, madaling gamitin. Minimal yung mga pre-installed software. And most of them you can remove naman. Tolerable siya, especially for a budget phone. Understandable na minsan meron tong mga konting ads kasi nga they have to get yung pera somewhere kasi sobrang mura talaga ng teleponong to eh. But hindi naman siya super intrusive, di ba? Unlike ng mga previous telepono na mura na tinatagdad talaga ng ads. So far happy ako with what I'm seeing with this telepono. And I think if you are on a tight budget, I will recommend this in a heartbeat. Overall, happy naman ako sa mga nakita ko with this smartphone. Maganda yung design niya, hindi siya super common, boxy yung build, medyo may pagka-premium tingnan sa malayo, and yung overall performance niya is considered as malakas for a budget phone. Syempre, hindi to magbibigay sa'yo ng mga flagship level performance. Medyo i-manage natin yung expectations natin. Pero I'm happy na nakapaglagay ng 5G connectivity si Smart and ZTE dito sa teleponong to despite being a 4,990 pesos smartphone. Yung performance niya pwede mong itapat sa mga 7K, 8K phones ng ibang brands eh. Ganun siya katindi at this price point. Decent pa yung main camera niya and matino rin yung kanyang selfie camera. Ang tagal pa ng battery nito, so kahit gawin mo siyang hotspot, okay siya and matino yung kanyang thermals kahit wala siyang cooling system. Bira ko siya maramdaman na mag-warm eh. And pag nag-warm siya, hindi naman siya yung hot. So, tolerable pa rin. Sa battery benchmark, using the PCMark Work 3.0 battery life test, ito yung nakuha ko, 14 hours and 51 minutes. Matagal yan ah. And sa actual experience ko, as a secondary smartphone, kaya niya talagang tumagal ng 2 days on a single charge. Ginagawa ko pa nga itong hotspot minsan. And by the end of the day, siguro may mga 50% pa ako natitira. Let's say, lumalis ako ng bahay ng 10 o'clock ng umaga and umuwi ako ng 5 o'clock ng hapon. May ganun pang natitira. And ginagamit ko siyang hotspot time to time. Not bad yun. Yung charging is isa sa mga weak points ng teleponong ito. But at least meron siyang cool na charging animation na parang Dynamic Island ni Apple. Anyway, 3 hours. More than 3 hours from 0 to 100%. Kasi 10 watts lang yung support niya. Sana mas pinabilis pa to ni Smart and ZTE. But ayun nga, again and again, budget phone eh. And bawi naman sa ibang specs. So medyo pwede nating patawarin. But i-mention natin sa kanila yan na sana mas bilisan pa nila yung charging speed sa kanilang mga next releases. By the way, meron pala tong libreng SIM card ni Smart sa package, yung kanilang 5G and 4G LTE SIM. And I think may libreng data pa to. So, explore ninyo na lang guys. And visit www.geezguy.com for more info. Make sure to use Smart kasi lock yung kanyang SIM 1. And I think yung SIM 2 niya walang 5G, 4G only. So, if gusto mong ma-experience yung 5G ng telepono, use yung SIM card ni Smart. So, bakit Smart lang? Obviously, in partnership kasi with Smart to and ZTE. Hindi sila pwede maglagay ng ibang network. And isa yung partnership na yon sa mga dahilan bakit naging mura itong smartphone na to. So again, it's me, peterofgeezguy.com. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys on the next video. This is the Smart ZTE Blade A75 5G. Isa ito sa pinakasulit na 5G ready smartphones, especially under 5,000 pesos. I think sobrang bihira lang nun eh. Goodbye!